There are people that I went to school with, dimwits. In other words, they just date dreamers. But they are owning law firms and they're owning accounting firms and they're owning all these things. They wouldn't have made it alone. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So if you and I are going to have a conversation and we're going to influence everyone to understand that it can't be about you. It must be about everyone else around you. Start with your family, extend to your community, and then eventually you're touching your city, and then it's your province, and then it's the country. It can't be the other way around, Black Pen. You can't. No, you can. Saul Kersner had to leave.
Elon Musk?
And come back, Saul Kersner. Elon Musk had to leave and come back. But them leaving, they needed the infrastructure. Have you heard the former president of the United States speak? Saying that, it was tough for me. I had to make sure and beg my dad for $2 million, $2 million loan, and he eventually gave it to me.
Donald.
That's Donald.
That's my boy.
But there's infrastructure for Barry Ibekrand.
Yeah.
2 million it was somewhere for him to leave. Elon wouldn't have left with the parents called my parents. He wouldn't have left with my type of infrastructure. Real life, real talk. I've got an aunt who wants to kill me. I've got an uncle who wants to feed me poison because my grandfather left his property in my name, and now we are fighting for the will. And we've got they put a tombstone on my grandfather's grave without telling anyone. I had to go remove it, and I removed it. Do you know what it means to remove a tombstone physically?
Yeah.
I did it. So we have real problems. What time do you think that I will be able to have an opportunity to be Elon Musk and go see what's out there in America for me? Plane ticket to America, we can't even make ends meet for bread today. Petrol, I can have 10K in my pocket, Black Pen, and walk out the house. I'll come back without it and spend nothing on me. Because there's always a real reason why it's important for me to say, okay, njaka ki stain. Njaka ngoseka be kuba skela mfana kitsebi ki tuning. Okay, njaka ba re ke bokae ki to stain, ki to stain. Esa njaka man since ke tshwarisitse ka koloi ke patela lofi medical bill a ona ntho kopanang. Lofi ne le kula wa sa bua. Transfer tshware ke mang ke some people who borrow out money. Jesus, those people take your car. Njaka tshwara to stain la the trans.
This is a tough conversation for me. It's a tough conversation for me because I understand both sides. I look at Abu Cyril and these guys, and I sometimes wonder if they really did their best for Taki. And eventually they realize that no matter how hard I fight, it's always going to be the guy with the money that can come and effect change. Sure. So maybe let me go get the money.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I know that when you start the journey of money, you begin changing, whether you like it or not. Sure. So maybe we'll speak about it another time.
I don't think so. As you wrap it up, I don't think...
I'm not wrapping it up. I want to ask you a question.
I'm saying that point.
Sure.
But I don't think you need money to make the change. Black Pen, with all the change that you've known me and everyone else know me for, I didn't use money.
Did you not need other people's money?
Their own money.
Yes.
Okay, look,
But they had to get it from somewhere.
Let's talk about Teti Mashinini.
So let's say, for example, I don't have money, but Ubanbani, and he has money.
Let's talk about Teti Mashinini.
Sure.
Teti Mashinini convened the biggest student march probably in the history of the world. 1976 uprising, for us to have a change that we're actually living under now. Teti narubala mo kitchen le mo dining room in a RTP house Yamabur at the time. The man didn't have money, the mother didn't have money. Determination, attitude, and other things as a recipe made sure that he could deliver on that type of change. For me to go to Maponya and say that if you're going to loot the mall, you go through me first and make a call for all the men in Soweto to come and join me, and they come out in numbers. That cost me data. That cost me data of sending that video. I was recording myself, press, and send to the groups.
Sure.
I didn't need money. You don't need money to change people's lives.
I agree. The guy you're speaking about.
It's easier with money.
Sobukwe,
sure. Yeah.
Where did he end up? Where did his kids end up? Because part of my concern when we speak about white, Indian, Chinese communities, there's something called good leadership. There's something called good followers.
Yeah.
So if Lux is going to put his hand up and lead, how are we being good followers? Because now you're going to lead people. You're going to do everything. Tomorrow you're going to get assassinated. You're going to get jailed. And those same people are like, I asazi. Because for me, that's been my biggest pain in particular with Black Africans. We have had amazing leaders in this country that have been killed. And the people that claim that's my leader, if I ask, do you know where his kids are? Do you know what's happening? Bantu Bigo's black community programs, they died. So it's like, clearly, you guys are not willing to meet us halfway so these things can keep going. And it's like, why not just leave there and go to other spaces, not necessarily white, but non-racial spaces where you're like, I'm going to lead people that are willing to meet me halfway.
No. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
You can work with absolutely anyone. Black, Indian, white, I actually advocate for it. I don't care if they call you a sellout or not. Work with whoever will make your plan work.
Yeah.
Simple, right? Whatever your plan is. I don't know, you want to build another Carlton Center and you need capital. You don't have it, you work with whoever will give you capital. As long as you're comfortable around the deal. I'm just saying, in principle, you can go do business outside your hood, but you must make sure that you play a deliberate role in advancing your hood, setting up infrastructure. Right now, Soweto has a golf course. I was part of I've always been part and parcel of every leadership of that golf course.
Yeah.
Maybe not now because I'm too tied up, but I will always at some point have a hand in the golf course, whether through the Sunshine Tour, whether through the committee on the ground, I've served on all of them. You see, I know where the money comes from to build that golf course. It came from overseas, some of it. So I know the negotiations. I know who was in the meeting. I know, because what's important is I need to make sure there's an infrastructure
Is the community taking care of the infrastructure?
Oh, yes. Yes, the people that work
Not just the golf course, just as a general.
The people that work at the golf course are from the community.
Yeah.
The people that caddy are from the community. The people that play are from the community. Amongst one of the best golfers currently playing in South Africa on the Sunshine Tour. Sunshine Tour is the biggest golfing
tournament
tour. But I want to speak so people understand. Golfing platform, professional in the continent. Okay? So some of the people that are playing on this tour come from Soweto. Soweto had to have a golf course, had to have an infrastructure of golf to produce a professional golfer.
Yeah.
So if I started the golf course and I die, as an example, it can't die because I've left systems in place.
Sure.
The problem is our people who die with their things don't leave systems in place. Black businesses die with their owners and their founders because they don't leave systems in place.
Yeah.
I've got Sputnik Garage sitting in Midlands. I've got Lily Bioscope. I can give you businesses that were great in the 70s and the 80s that are nowhere right now, that are just dilapidated because the owner died, the kids didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
The family started fighting for those things because we do not leave systems in place for our kids to flourish. We don't leave an infrastructure of success. No one has left me infrastructure of success. That's why when I get asked the question, do you think you are the one? I can never say I'm the one. I think I am the one that's going to build an infrastructure of success for the one to become the one.
Boom. Systems.
So I don't care what people say about me now or later. It doesn't matter. What matters is if the infrastructure I'm building, my focus is the infrastructure. We are trying to turn...
And the systems to run them
and
sustainably.
And to sustain them.
Yeah.
Right now, we are currently building a go-kart track in Soweto. And we are plugging the go-kart track into motorsport development of the country. So whichever child is great in Soweto, wins the league in Soweto, will go compete in the provincial league and then make it to the SA league and eventually land up somewhere where the F1 takes care of them.
Yeah.
But they can't make it to F1. You can't be Ferrari, Schumacher or Hamilton if you do not have an infrastructure of that development where you come from.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap. Just build. Just create it so you can show us. Come with me. Come spend time with me after September in Soweto. I'll put you on a go-kart. I won't talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Smooth game. We can just all shut up.
Game.
And I'll put you in the go-kart. And you go around. And you can come and have a 7-year-old teach you how to ride better.
Yeah. I've got a few questions. How are you sustaining yourself financially? Who has been funding you guys? Soweto Parliament, Operation Tutula. Do you ever wish you had multiples of yourself so that the one can chase golfing a dream, or one can run an airline, another one can go and be as ambitious as they want? Do you ever worry about, because unfortunately we don't have time and capacity, but how do you sustain yourself currently? Sure. Did you guys get funding, and do you sometimes get sour that I wish there were like 5 of me?
We took a decision, Soweto Parliament will not have a bank account. Dudula, from the jump, had a bank account. It wasn't my decision. It was a collective decision.
Yeah.
And who funds it? You need to audit it. It's never been an audit. I've never seen a bank statement.
You don't know.
There could be 5 billion in that account, or there could be 5 rand. I have no clue.
Okay.
So I don't want to speak about things I don't know.
Let's
speak about things I know. Soweto Parliament, gazetting game. If there's a serious program where we need to go to ESCOM to march, we all contribute. We all of us contribute. Even the grannies. 20 rand, 50 rand, yes, let's do it. And I guide it and I lead it. No one funds Soweto Parliament. No one has ever funded Soweto Parliament. We don't have the bank account to fund unless people bring us money in suitcases, which is impossible.
But you need to build that now. Speaking to infrastructure systems that are sustainable.
So let me tell you something. I want even the young people to hear this. When you start something, you don't start with funding. You end with funding. You must prove that you can do this at a certain scale. Small scale, doesn't matter the size. So we've proved beyond reasonable doubt that we can do this. So it's easy for me to go walk into any bank or walk into anyone's house with money and say, we actually need 50 million, because with 50 million, I'll be able to build more go-kart tracks. The first one we built without this type of support is here. Come and see it. You can play, bring your kids, they can do this. This is what we've done for the people. Yeah. And the long term is, I want to see a kid in F1 in the next 15 years to 20 years. I know it's important, I'm just making examples. And now we've got a plan as Sowetans of how to get our kids competing at a world stage. We have Soweto Olympics coming up. Who said the fastest runner is not in Soweto? We don't have an infrastructure that can test whether or not, or that can give the young people an opportunity to express their talent and run. Perhaps they're the fastest in the world. Maybe it's not the Jamaicans. You see? So we'll never know how great we are because we just don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the platforms and opportunities. So mine is to create opportunities. And unfortunately, I'll be too old. Once we open the track, or even Soweto Olympics, that's coming up. Once we have that, I can't run in those things. I'm in my 30s now. There's a kid that's 20-something years old that'll blitz me. Yeah. But in my time,
16, 17.
You see what I mean?
These boys move.
In my time, I could have probably held it down. It's impossible unless I'm just hogging everything. I want to run in the Olympics.
You said you want to come play touch rugby with us, no?
I'll play touch with you.
We will fuck you up, though.
No, that's not a problem.
We want to fuck you up so bad.
That's not a problem.
You'll never speak about it again.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
I was still asking.
The only time that you'll possibly, in your words, fuck me up at touch rugby is because I will let you fuck me up so that the next game we can bet and we can have the stakes high so that I can take your money.
Cheers. I wanted to ask how you sustain yourself, but before that, would you guys consider working with some organization like an Afriforum? It sounds like when I listen to Soweto Parliament, if you speak about a pressure group holding government accountable, economic systems, and then serving on the ground, Afriforum, as much as Otaki, get very angry and triggered. Yeah. But the systems that they've created and the work they're doing, amazing. So
we can learn a lot from anyone.
Yeah.
Whether they are foreigners, whether they are South Africans. But let's speak about South Africans. Afriforum. South Africans running Afriforum, that's good enough for me. I can work with South Africans anytime. Yeah. I'm not buying this nonsense that, hi, I'm a bono, hey, Afrikaners, hey, you're a sellout. I do not care. These are South Africans. We're going to work with any South African that's willing to take South Africa forward. Full stop.
Because it means any Daki that works for a white Afrikaans company is a sellout.
Yeah, that means
but everyone, they're trying to get somewhere.
That means everyone got tilling who works at a till of ShopRite and Pick and Pay are all sellouts.
Sellouts.
It's stupid. Why you even reason that way?
We need to fix that psychology.
We need to fix that psychology. And they're using it as a weapon against our people. That's why they can push propaganda, you see. So, unfortunately, that's what it is.
I'm going to try and organize a meeting.
With Afriforum.
With the Afriforum guys.
Shout out to Afriforum.
Yeah, Ernst van Sale. I want us to go and sit with, because they're open. I love the fact that they're open. To go and hear about their systems, hear what they're doing, hear if we can collaborate. I mean, sometimes Umeyi are going back to Ebola. His lawyers are being funded by Afriforum.
That's incredible. I didn't
know what I mean?
That. Yeah,
so we can call them racist and what. If you look at some of the work they're doing, you can get angry, you can hate them up when we know our history. But they are doing certain work.
Do you know to date, there is no one black person that has called me and said that I am Motsepe, or I am Julius, or I am, that said, you guys are doing great as young people. here's an opportunity to be guided by those with a little bit of experience. So we do this thing unguided. Do you think if I was an Indian kid with half the talent that I haven't displayed and proven, measurable talent, do you think that I'd still be an island running around with young people?
You'd be backed and funded.
I would probably be on the Forbes list.
Yeah.
Because that's just what it is. Young white people, half the talent that a black person has, half the talent that you have, are doing great. They're doing amazing.
So this is a call, and I've had this conversation with a few black people that have money.
Yeah.
Because in my own life, when you look at the number of elders that are rich, who have brought me close, guided me, supported me, very few have been black. And I've had this conversation that the old black timers, whether unama taxi, unama bus, you have a butchery, you have a funeral parlor, if you guys are not investing in young black kids and have decent succession planning, the Jews, the Afrikaners, they're going to come fetch us. And some will sell out, whatever the case. But some people will be like, I need work done. I need to build a golf course. I need to go go-karting. I need whatever. This guy is willing to help. Are you guys saying I must say no? Because I know there's a little Nhlanhla Lux somewhere who, if I don't build this golf course, will never be exposed to golf. You can call me a sellout, but until Nina, about my time, I come to us. Because not we can only do something. We're making noise. We're here.
Sure.
We're making attention.
Sure.
We're catching your attention.
Yeah.
Why you not bring us closer? Because we'd love to sit with you and learn from you. And then whatever agendas you have, if they are aligned, we can move.
Sure. Do you know...
How do you sustain yourself?
I'll answer that just now.
Sure.
Do you know that every time we get shot at, it's on the news? Diale got shot, we buried him. It's on the news. There is no one prominent black person that called and said that, geez, sorry for your loss. Geez, are you guys safe? Is there anything I can do? All those calls I'm getting from the guys I went to school and varsity with. Lux, are you okay? Is there anything we can do?
White people.
They're all white.
By the way, I'm really sorry about all the people you've lost in various ways.
You're the first person commercially to say, I'm sorry for all the people you've lost. This is the country we live in. Young people died fighting for them. Because when you fight for the country, you fight for everybody. When you fight for electricity in Deep Blue, you fight for, when it comes on, it lights up for ANC members and EFF. It doesn't say, no, we'll just light these, we'll just get electricity back in these houses. It's for everybody. Our fight is for everyone. It's not membership-based, it's for everyone. Along the way, when some of us die during such fights, some of us get arrested during such fights, all these people just switch on their 100-inch TVs just to catch up on the latest. Is he out? Is he sleeping with John Foster? They are pathetic. They are disgusting. They buy girls' cars. They literally break the backbone of what society standards are. There's no decorum anymore. We don't have any level of respect in our societies. And it's because that these people with money are the ones at the center of community destructing. These people with money, they would rather go spend on big holidays. They would rather spend on buying girls' cars, buying girls' weaves, buying all these type of things. Not understanding that they're damaging these young kids called these girls in the process. Not understanding that they're creating hell because we now need to compete with them for girls that are our age group. So we can't even start families because you're going to marry someone who's used to being put into Zimbali.
Yeah.
So the practical and honest side of life is gone anymore. It's gone. It's no more. So when you say, or when a young person says, I actually want to start a family so that I can have family values around me, the likelihood is that you're going to meet a girl who's conditioned to believing that a man is someone who can buy them weaves, thanks to these old men. Instead of contributing to what's the right things, they contribute to what makes their penis hard. Yeah. That's all they care for, unfortunately. So we live in a tough time. The same man will spread a picture of Lux with a white person and say, Nyabon, he's a sellout. What's the term they use? He's a puppet.
Puppet is another one. He's a hired something.
He's a hired whatever. And then you find the politicians also say, hired what? How dare you say that?
It's an inferiority complex.
It's a big one.
Black people cannot believe that a young black guy with limited resources
it's a big one.
Can, in effect,
it's a big one.
Cause a change. There has to be someone behind them.
100%, bro. And it's like now with this Dudula thing, Black Pen, they're saying that Lux is compromised. There was a video trending where he's embracing, where he's hugging a lady foreign lady, saying that we don't have a problem with all foreigners. We have a problem with those who are illegal, undocumented, undermining our. And some people say, no, you must push that. All these foreigners must go. I am not going to be the voice of that nonsense reasoning. If people want to go fight all foreigners, they must. Because right now, that's the fundamental difference between Tutula and Soweto Parliament. If the leadership says it's fighting all foreigners, let it be. We are not fighting all foreigners.
Is that what Tutula is saying?
Yeah.
They're fighting all foreigners.
Listen, in the meeting, they said that 100% in front of everyone to say, no, Lux, you can't be seen with foreigners. If they documented and legal, what are we actually fighting here? No, Lux, you can't be embracing someone. That lady is documented, is legal. Why can't I embrace her? So if you're saying we're fighting all foreigners, you're effectively saying that all the embassies in the country must just pack and go home. And at the other side of the coin is all our ambassadors across the world must all pack and come back home.
All talented South Africans.
Elon
Musk.
Elon Musk come back home. Trevor Noah come back home.
Perform.
How dare, since when did this fight become about all foreigners? It's undocumented, illegal foreigners undermining the laws of the country.
Yeah.
So there's now this thing of it's all foreigners. You can miss me. I'll focus on my Soweto Parliament. Focus on tutelaring all foreigners. Let's see how far we get.
You guys still have a good relationship?
A good relationship.
You just disagree ideologically.
We just disagree ideologically because we're saying that we don't have a problem with all foreigners. We have a problem with undocumented foreigners. They're saying that they have a problem with all foreigners. I can never be seen saying that. History will judge me too hard. We've got friends that are foreigners. Some foreigners created the schools some of us went to. So it's a ripple effect. Without the foreigners' involvement, we also contributed to their countries, by the way.
Yeah.
So without our involvement, it's a laws of relativity. We all link up somewhere. You can never deny that universal relationship that we all have with each other. Yeah. Whether it's African foreigners or other foreigners, doesn't matter, irrelevant. All I'm saying to you is I am not in a war against all foreigners. I am in a war against undocumented foreigners that are here undermining the laws of South Africa. So Soweto Parliament is there. If there's any program around illegal foreigners, you must understand it's clear. At no point have I ever pronounced that my war is against all foreigners.
Sure.
So if people want to pronounce it, unfortunately, Advocate Ike had a lot to say. Lux is disappointing, inconsistent. Look, that's his problem.
Yeah.
That's his problem. Because, that's what he does for, that's what you know him for. What else do you know Ike for?
I know him for making videos on social media.
Exactly. And the videos, is either he's in a car, wherever, and he's talking about people. Have you ever seen Ike taking action? I'm talking to you, Black Pen.
Not that I know of.
What action has Ike ever taken to advance the things that he believes in? He believes that the country mustn't have foreigners. What action has he taken? So he mustn't want me to take action for his own ideologies. Man up. Man up. Go burn the embassies if you think that all foreigners must go. You do it. Why must young people do it for you? And when we don't want to do it, we don't want to be the voice of anarchy and represent nonsense ideologies, then, but it's like he's not consistent. I'm clear. I don't have a problem with all foreigners. Undocumented ones, undermining our laws, yes.
People have said you're an ANC member, you've been an ANC member, and you still haven't answered me on how you sustain yourself financially.
So I live with my family.
Sure.
I live amongst many people at any given time. I don't buy food every day. Sometimes I go 3 months without buying food. Sometimes I rock up. I might get to the house now and there's lunch that's being served. I'm always amongst a lot of people.
Family, friends that are working, that are hustling.
That are working.
And you guys literally have a community that
we have a
self-sustains.
community, 100%.
You've left business? You want to go back to business?
I will at some point.
What are you waiting for?
I'm just waiting for me to serve and finish serving because you can't do both. You can't be a president.
You believe so?
Yeah, you can't be a president of millions of people in Soweto and still do business. You'll be conflicted. If they say
president of
Soweto Parliament. You're leading
Soweto Parliament.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying, because I was going to ask, are you building yourself towards becoming the leader of Soweto, becoming the president of Soweto as a whole?
But I am. What do you mean? That's why I don't have ambitions of being the president of South Africa, because I've ticked that box in my life.
Boom.
I'm leading South Africans in Soweto. I'm the president of South Africans already. That's what it is.
Okay.
So for me, that box is ticked. I don't have any other sideline ambition but if I am called to serve, I can always go and serve. If Tutuzani must be the president, and I must be his driver, and that's me serving, I will be his driver. You can call me a sellout all year. I don't care. If that's my contribution for this country to move forward, let it be. If an Afrikaans boy from Free State in a farm now must be the president of this country, and I must go drive his tractors to relieve him of the farm work so he can lead the country better, I will drive those tractors. That's just who I am. I'm not here to please you.
Do you make any money yourself? And from where?
Now I don't. I don't make money. I made enough money.
You don't make money?
No. I make money from consulting in the golf industry because I'm one of the few people who actually served on different boards, different levels, come up with policy for professional golf development and development in particular to do with black golfers' development. I remain strongly embedded in the golf industry.
Are you scared of making money because it will disturb you from serving?
No, I'm not scared. As long as it's passive income. Again, you're going to miss a lot of people because they're not. As long as it's passive income. If you maybe agree to be on a board to serve whatever, you get money for doing that, and you meet 4 times a year every quarter.
Sure.
I can do that, no problem.
You're happy to be paid to speak on platforms?
Yes.
I'll be your agent.
Actually, I work for you now.
I'll be your fucking agent, and I'll be like, if you want Nhlanhla Lux, hit the boy, nearly commission.
This is what I'll do for you right now on the show.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to book Nhlanhla Lux to speak anywhere, call Black Pen.
Oh shit!
Because if my agreement is not signed with the Black Pen, I'm not doing it.
big signing. Rock Nation is signing Kanye.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's solid.
Sure.
ANC. You're an ANC member. You love ANC. Are you politically affiliated?
I'm not, but I'm not political at all.
Yeah.
So people have a problem with the picture that was circulating where I was seen with the provincial leadership of the ANC.
Yeah.
But the same people who have a problem did not have a problem when I went to the mayor of the DA. I have pictures with the mayor of the DA.
Yeah.
You only jump because it's ANC. Reality check. Those that are jumping have political reasoning why they're jumping. I'm not political. Your enemy is not my enemy. The ruling party is the ANC. And if I am the president of an accountability structure in Soweto, then I must hold the ruling party accountable of service delivery. So how? Must I just operate on Bluetooth because I'm scared of that? You will say that he's too close to them. If the DA wins, if Patriotic Alliance wins, if Action SA wins, if EFF wins, you will see me in those offices holding them accountable. How hard is that?
I want to give a shout out to Herman Mashaba. Yeah. I know various people have fought the illegal foreigners thing, but I think he was pretty solid when he was mayor of Joburg. And then he left the DA, and then you guys came and set fire. And it became apparent that people are still very frustrated with the illegal foreigners thing. And I saw Gayton McKenzie speaks very passionately about it now.
Yeah,
He's doing good work.
Shout out to Gayton McKenzie. Shout out to Herman Mashaba. Shout out to every South African putting South Africans first in South Africa and fighting the good fight. Shout out, big shout out. I'll work with any of those guys in a program to advance anything. Bro, I'll work with the EFF if they come up with a program that is beneficial for our people on the ground, for real.
And I've said, which the EFF and other people have said, this thing of about Julia saying remove the borders, leave these people alone.
Come on.
It's been a big problem because it's like, but no one, even Julius himself, just as an example, shout out to Julius, we love him.
For what?
How?
No, I'm not saying I don't love him. You must just justify. We love him. For what?
As a young leader who stood up to my elders who are...
Fantastic. We love him for that, yeah.
But then, again, it becomes this thing now of classism. If you're not living in an informal settlement, in a township, and you're living in a gated estate in a community, and you're like, no, but the Africa's for...
And you travel in blue lights.
And you travel in blue lights. Yeah. It's very easy to be like, open the borders, what. Open your estate. Yeah. Open your home. Because that's essentially what you're asking the poor masses of this country to do. Be comfortable living with people you don't know, who might rape your daughter, who might kill someone, and you don't know who they are and where they come from.
You can't hold them accountable.
Now we open your house, because that's what you believe. Let us also come live in your house.
Sure.
And it seems like they're just not understanding that we're saying, yes, the borders are colonial. Yes, we need to speak about them, because we didn't set them and we're not really happy with some of them. Or Lesotho, for example, we don't know why there's a fence around that. Make them South African citizens as an example. Yeah. The bottom line is we are get into someone's house if it's been demarcated. Sure. No Lux built his fence too far ahead. We can discuss that later. The bottom line is you can't just come and camp there and be like, but it's a free world. God gave us. It's someone's house. Even in the animal kingdom, you don't just rock up to a lion's paws.
You don't.
And just fucking shit on his yard.
Pre-colonization, before white people set foot on this continent, at least as far as history can tell us.
Yeah.
Pre-colonization, bro. When civilization, black people were at the top of the food chain, we had tribal borders, not colonial borders. You Msotho, you can't just go through KZN just for fun. You'd have to wait there, send someone, let them know that you guys are going to cross and ask that, can I please cross? And often you beg gift from our rivers, here's fresh fish.
We saw this in Black Panther. When Killmonger's coming to Wakanda, he brings one of these bad guys, Crow.
Yeah, actually, that's what happened.
I am actually...
100%. So people must not mislead the young people. These old people mustn't lie to our young people. There's always been borders of some sort.
Yeah.
There are borders. Bro, I can't go to your house and use your toothbrush. There's no rule or law that says I can't use your toothbrush. But I can't. It's just a border that is there. That
it's
says,
almost an animal thing.
You are now crossing the line, bro.
Ask.
You are now crossing the line. What are you doing? What line? I can be technical. What line? There's no line. But you know what I mean. You're crossing the line. So for state of security, we need to have better borders so you can control what comes in and out. You are not objecting that things must come in and out, but they must be under control. Because if bombs come in the country and the whole country explodes at 12 midnight, we are gone.
Yeah.
We are gone. And then some people now start owning this country because the state is gone. The people are gone.
I really hope what I wish for you, it's work I need to do as well, because I study history a lot. You need to travel as much as possible around the world, meeting some of these supposedly important, influential guys, because perception is important. But perception does have a role to play, because building those relationships, Malcolm X going to Mecca, other people going elsewhere, it does a lot. And I think not just us, I'm seeing it now with the world. You might think Soweto needs you, and you might find out tomorrow that Germany's been waiting for you. And Germany might just open their arms and be like, you're the leader we've been looking for. So we need to become global. We need to... I just want you to do more. Yeah. And I think that's also why I ask about the money and the resources, because I listen to a lot of the rabbis, and they speak about money being energy and spiritual, and we need to open ourselves up for that, because it's a tool. Money is just a tool. So people can come and bring bags of maize to your house because they're like, I love Nhlanhla Lux, I'm bringing cabbage. Yeah. Or they can bring money so that you can fly and go and get resources and bring them back.
Do you know everyone you mentioned?
Yeah.
Malcolm X.
Yeah.
You can talk about all of them. Some of them needed an infrastructure for them to be great.
Yeah.
Malcolm X was protected by the Islam community.
Yeah.
So he could move. He could say what he wanted. Who's protecting Lux? Lux is. So we just don't have old people that are quality enough to produce a Lux that can go to Germany and dominate. I would need to be at a certain level of consciousness for me to go into Germany and dominate. I don't have that consciousness. I don't vibrate at that level, because I've made peace. I've come to terms that like I said, I am not the chosen one. I am sent to create an infrastructure that will enable the chosen one to be the damn chosen one. I am doing what our ancestors failed to do for you and I, Pen. So I'm not here for myself to be great. That's why they can talk. Whether you like me or you hate me, it's irrelevant. I am doing this. Whether you speak good of me or you speak bad of me, it doesn't change the fact that I am doing this. Black Pen, I am doing this. Doesn't matter who says what or who jumps how high. I am doing this. It's not even up to me. The universe has conspired in my favor for me to do this. The time has given me an opportunity to be. Time and space, if you understand that concept, this is our time as young people. There's no revolution that's ever been led by old people, Black Pen. You want to speak about Malcolm X? Do you want to speak about Joe Slovo all the time? Do you want us to sing about Chris Hani the whole year? How's about we sing about Black Pen? You're fucking doing great. When are you going to be sung about? All those people heard the songs. It's not that we sang about them when they were dead. Oliver Tambo, Teta no Botha. He heard people sing that song. So at which point will the people that live amongst you right now celebrate you for what you are? But don't get it twisted. That will never happen. So you just have to get the job done,
Sure.
with or without them.
Yo,
I'm getting the job done.
let's shut it down. I think anything from here will kill it.
Sure.